Hello and welcome to One Cool Thing, PC Mag's daily show where we show you one cool thing which we are testing out here in the PC Mag Labs. I'm Sasha Sig and this is Tom Brandt. Today we have what I think I can say is the best thing that Huawei ever made. Now, Huawei is a huge Chinese electronics company. They make a lot of different things, and we have a really good thing for you here today. But before we get to that thing, let's say hello to everybody watching us live on Facebook. If you are watching us live, please comment and ask questions. Social Pete is here to take your comments and questions. We can discuss the news of the day, which is this lovely laptop, or the news of any other day, as long as it has to do with what electronics you should buy. If you are watching us later on YouTube, then please like and subscribe. Consider coming over to Facebook at 10 a.m. Eastern on weekdays to see all the cool things and participate in the discussion. Now today we have the Huawei MateBook X Pro. It is a laptop, and what's extraordinary about it is that we are giving it 4.5 stars in our editor's choice. It's not a spoiler. I'm like putting it right in the lead because it is amazing how much progress Huawei has made in just a couple of years of offering laptops on the US market. What do we have here?
Yeah, this is almost unrecognizable from Huawei's attempts a couple years ago at making detachable tablets and laptops. This is the MateBook X Pro, which is a completely new laptop for the US market this year, actually for any market this year. It's vastly better than the MateBook X, which they sold last year. And what the most striking thing about it, and the thing that you will immediately notice if you are lucky to find one of these in the store, is it looks like an Apple MacBook Pro.
Okay, and now a lot of things look like a lot of things. Why are you saying in this case that it specifically looks like an Apple MacBook Pro?
Now, so there's two things that really give this away as like they were given a MacBook Pro and said, we want to make this. One is the touchpad. This is one of the biggest touchpads that I've ever seen on a 12 to 14 inch computer. This ample size makes it really easy to mouse around, and not only that, but the touchpad is extremely sturdy, which is also something that surprisingly not a lot of computer manufacturers get right. Mm-hmm. Dell and HP make touchpads, especially HP, that are like on an excellent computer, the touchpad is horrible, and this really stands out there. It's extremely sturdy. You can click it anywhere. You get a pleasing sensation. And then, so that's clearly a copy of the giant MacBook Pro touchpad. And then the keyboard is the other thing. It's very shallow. Not a lot of people might like it, but the keys are very sturdy, and it allows them to make the computer extremely thin. There are many more similarities, but those are the main ones.
Apple's new keyboards are under heavy criticism right
Indeed.
now.
Yeah.
People are saying that they are not reliable, that they are uncomfortable to use, that they break down easily as soon as they get a little bit of dust in them. Are we likely to see the same thing happen here, or is it a different mechanism?
So it is a different mechanism.
Okay.
I mean, you can tell the difference. This is actually the first generation of the Apple's butterfly keyboard switches, which they debuted in 2016 on the MacBook Pro. It is even shallower. This really, it feels incredible. This is shallow, but not that shallow. I believe that the mechanism is different. The key switches are different. But this computer here with the first gen Apple switches has caused a lot of problems. There's been a lawsuit about reliability. Who knows if that will be the same case with the MateBook. I can tell you I've been using this a lot, typing on it frequently every day. I haven't had a problem.
Okay, so let's walk around the MateBook Pro here. And now we see, so we talked about the keyboard, up here, fingerprint sensor.
Indeed, they have built in the fingerprint sensor to the power button, which is great because it's a very accurate fingerprint sensor, which is more than you can say a lot of them. But in addition, you touch it to turn the computer on, and you log in one fell swoop.
Great.
So from startup to login, it's much quicker. It's great.
Now, can I do the F6.5 thing? It's like Hogwarts. It's like the train leaving from platform 9 3/4.
Could you get into the BIOS by spreading the wall?
Exactly. So I'm going to press F6.5 on this keyboard. Here, let me pop it up and watch what happens.
Boop. Yes. Ta-da! That was kind of an anticlimactic intro to this, but yeah, this is the one major downside to the MateBook X Pro, is that they have put the camera in the keyboard. Again, this is we'll give them credit for innovation, but it is truly a useless feature.
That's gonna look straight up your chin.
Yeah,
right?
not only that, but actually you can see in our full review at PCMag.com. Hopefully it's still there. We when we first got our first look at this, we took a picture of me using this, and with the keyboard camera popped up, it doesn't see. You don't even see your chin. It's just your knuckles.
Knuckles.
And so
Knuckle Cam.
it really is useless if you spend a lot of time on Skype. But that said, I think that a lot of people can live with this because when you're not on Skype, you probably put tape over your camera.
And
this
instead of
means-
taping it.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
Yeah. So we had nostril cam. Now we have knuckle cam.
Yeah, Dell puts theirs like right down here. Some other ones are in the center
Yep.
here. The best location is obviously up here, but, and that's the other thing about this computer, there is no border. There is nowhere to put anything because it is so thin.
So this is a gorgeous, huge for the size of the laptop, bezel-less screen. Give me some screen specs.
Yeah, so another novel thing about this laptop, it has a 3:2 screen aspect ratio, which is about the same as the Microsoft Surface Book, and it's something that you would have seen like 10 or 15 years ago before we had widescreens. The reason for that is because if you're working on, like, if you're typing a story or something in Microsoft Word, you see more of the document. I really like that a lot. Obviously not as good for watching movies, but depends on what you want to do. It's a 3K display, around 3K, which means that it has the pixels of 3000 by 2000, not quite the 4K resolution that you'll find on like the some versions of the Dell XPS 13, but it's still
similar
very
to
good.
Surface Book.
Yeah, similar to Surface Book. I believe it's actually a very similar resolution to the Retina display on the Mac.
Now, let me close this just to show how slim it is. It's very, very slim. And then on the sides, we have our one USB-A and two USB-Cs, headphone jack. Thunderbolt power delivery?
Yeah, so one of these USB-C ports charges the laptop, and then one of them has Thunderbolt 3, which is great. And we haven't mentioned the best thing about this. This is not like more than $2,000, which is the equivalent from an Apple machine. This is $1499,
So,
which is really good for a Thunderbolt 3 laptop.
memory, storage, processor.
Yeah, so the $1499 version, by the way, which we have here, is the high-end one. It comes with 16 gigabytes of memory and a 512 gigabyte SSD.
That is good value for money, and
Yes.
8th Gen Core i7.
Yeah, 8th Gen Core i7. If you were to configure a 13-inch MacBook Pro with these same specs, which you can do, it would be over $2,000.
Now, is this a touchscreen? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Hey. Let's take a look at some benchmarks. We love to do that when we are
Let's mark the benches.
when we are talking about laptops. Benchmarks are a thing that we have been doing here at PC Mag for as long as laptops have existed. Seriously. Probably longer than many of you, the viewers, have been alive.
Yeah.
PC Mag has been doing benchmarks, and we keep up the tradition
Sad
with
but true.
PC Mark scores. So it looks like here,
It's a
performance
mixed bag.
is good, but it's not like ultimate performance is not what you're coming here for.
Well, yes and no. I mean, the thing with this is that it's so competitive. If you want to buy an ultra portable that's like looks good and costs around $1,500, there are so many choices, and we've only put the best ones up here. MacBook Pro 13-inch, XPS 13, Spectre 13. These are all gorgeous laptops that are, on the expensive side. The Razer Blade, obviously. And so as a result, they all use almost the same processor, except for ironically, except for the MacBook Pro, which has a significantly worse Core i5. And so as a result, you see scores that are about the same. There's no like clear winner here. The results are all over.
It's all kind of wobbling. And then now if we go down to graphics,
That's different.
hey,
That's a different story.
what just happened here?
Yeah, so here you see the MateBook X Pro is clearly head and shoulders above all the other ones because despite this incredibly thin, half-inch thick thing, they managed to put a discrete graphics card in. Not a good discrete graphics card, it's an NVIDIA MX 150.
2 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, with 2 gigs of memory. But still, that's like many times, well, not many times, 1 to 2 times better than the performance on graphics that you'll get from these other systems.
And so if you want to play games in lousy quality, it is barely possible to do so.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a gaming laptop by any means, but you could dial down the quality settings to medium and, you'd be fine.
Okay, we have any questions out there?
Should they have put a notch on this for the camera?
That's actually, that's a funny question because we saw bezels slim down with the borders around the screen slim down, and now we're seeing notches. This is like, I'm talking about the smartphone world here. Yeah, maybe they could bring that notch idea to laptops.
Yeah, I mean, I use my day-to-day laptop as a Surface Book. That's what I work on. I really enjoy Windows Hello, I've got to say. I really like looking at the screen and having it log me in. And that's
can't do that.
That's something you can't do here. Now, the fingerprint sensor pretty much makes up for it. But Windows Hello really wants a camera right up here.
Yeah, and the problem is that so Apple and some other, I guess Samsung as well, have figured out how to put all those IR sensors and things into a tiny notch package. Most Windows Hello cameras with those IR sensors are much bigger.
Yeah.
They can't fit, even if they could fit a camera up here, they wouldn't be able to fit the IR sensor.
And it might make the top edge of this laptop thicker,
Yeah.
and you see how thin this is.
So basically what needs to happen is the technology from those phones needs to come to the laptops. They can't put the laptop sensors and cameras into there.
Let's take another question.
Does the price include software equivalent to iMovie, Keynote, GarageBand, etc.?
Yeah, so that's another good question. If this is a clone, it better go all the way, right? No, there is no included software. This is actually a Windows Signature Edition machine, like many other ones are, which means that Microsoft decides what goes on the laptop, not Huawei. Only Windows and some trial versions that Microsoft sanctions go on here. There's no. There is Windows Movie Maker, or the equivalent to Windows Movie Maker. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, the answer is you have to pay for Microsoft Office.
Yeah, you have to pay for Office. You're not going to get any, robust video editing, which you can do. I mean, this is a decent machine for video editing. It's powerful enough. You have to buy that.
You have to buy the software. Yeah. Another question.
Can you use an external GPU unit on this?
It has a Thunderbolt port.
It has a Thunderbolt port. So there's enough throughput. We're actually in the midst of testing the brand new Razer Core X. Shares a name with this, by the way. It is kind of the latest external GPU from Razer. It is extremely painful to configure.
Okay.
We actually did set it up. We got it working with the MateBook X Pro. It does work on this. Stay tuned for our full review of that coming up. But short answer is yes, if you're willing to tinker incessantly and ignore all the instructions and get it to work yourself, you can use an eGPU with it.
And the reason it's so difficult is because because the basic hardware is here. Why are different Windows laptops? Why is it so complicated to set these things up?
There is no one. So you have to have the right Thunderbolt 3 drivers for Windows, right? This is something that a Mac does not have this problem with.
Drivers.
Yeah, there's no with the MacBook Pro. There is no Thunderbolt 3 driver. It just works. You just plug it in and you see it. You see it come up in OS 10 or Mac OS. With this, you need to have the right Thunderbolt 3 drivers. Then you need to do a bunch of other stuff, which I don't know because I'm not testing them. But it's very complicated.
You can't load them into extended memory, and they have to be on IRQ 15. Does anyone recognize that reference? Let's take another question.
Is there fan noise and does it get hot?
Okay, so the fan is very interesting with this. Obviously, they had to go to extreme contortions to make this thing get cool. The fan is loud, but it comes in short bursts. So if you're using it at room temperature, not like in midsummer in the tropics, like if you're using it in a 68-degree room, you will occasionally, if you're browsing like to a resource-intensive website or something like
Video
that.
editing.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just talking about everyday use here.
Okay.
It's completely silent, except for short bursts of the fan. But if it's hot out in the room or you're doing you're rendering something, the fan will get noisy. That's it's a fact of cooling. The Mac does it. Lots of other slim laptops do it. Oh, we should log in here.
Yeah, why don't you log into that laptop there?
I don't know why there's a password. We need to talk about audio. So
let's talk about audio.
Last thing.
It's funny. I never think about audio on laptops. I just think, I'm going to plug in my headphones.
Yeah. So audio on the MateBook X Pro, it is incredible. What they've done is they've put 2 speakers here, which again look exactly like they do on the MacBook Pro. They're one on either side of the keyboard, which you're expecting that. It's upward facing. Yeah, you see it's exactly the same, right? But then they have added 2 more speakers in these tiny louvers on the bottom sides here. This looks like if you went to a concert hall. It's the type of thing that they use in concert halls to modify acoustics for various different bands or orchestras. And the sound is incredible. It is extremely loud, but even better, there is no distortion when you get up to that high volume. And now we've closed it again.
Can I call up some YouTube?
Let's. We actually have some samples all ready to go here. Okay. And let's go ahead and close out of this. And we'll open up some samples. Actually, we could do a video, right?
Yeah, we can do a video.
Let's do Sound System Explainer.
Okay.
That explains the sound system.
And let's pump it up.
Yeah.
Where's the pumping it up button?
As people stream more movies, music, and TV shows, the laptop is becoming a primary source for entertainment. The problem is that laptop speakers have traditionally sounded underwhelming, since the sound is being delivered from a very constrained space.
How about we get past this?
Yeah, get past this,
little
dude.
room for to flow more easily.
Maybe he talks a lot.
Yeah, can we do
Choose
one?
a different one. Choose a different one.
Yeah, let's do one that is not dude talking.
There's some like rainforest sounds, nature.
Nature's Fury.
Let's try Nature's Fury on this MateBook X Pro. Oh, this is a headphone thing. Whatever, it'll still work.
It'll still work. It'll still work.
Okay, here we go.
Whether the soundscape sets the mood of the scene.
So basically what you can hear is there's a bunch of range of sounds here. None of them are blotting out, it's you hear the bass, you don't hear any of the distortion.
It really is rich and not muddy. It sounds terrific.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it sounds terrific. Let's take another question.
What's the largest angle it can open to?
Yeah, unfortunately this does not go 180. This is a regular laptop. Don't expect to use this as a tablet. So if you're using it in bed, that might be a problem, but that's what you get.
Do we have another question?
How does the touchpad measure up to Mac?
Yeah, so I was talking about that a bit earlier. Suffice it to say, it's an excellent touchpad, one of the best that we've used on a Windows computer. None of this Synaptics nonsense. It's an actual Windows touchpad that's certified with precision, whatever. The one drawback compared to the MacBook Pro, and no Windows has this, so it's only on the Mac. Apple has put haptic feedback in the touchpad, which means that all of the clicks that you make have the uniform response. With a physical mechanism on the touchpad, that's impossible because there's a hinge. So you can't. It's a little bit uncomfortable to click at the top, but other than that, they're almost very similar.
Another question.
What are you most excited to see at Computex this year?
At Computex, which is interesting because this is a Chinese company. Computex is one of the largest electronic shows in Asia, but it's in Taiwan. There's going to be a lot of Asus and Acer machines as a result. Those are the Taiwanese PC manufacturers. They are going to have tons of new stuff that we're going to be able to check out, and we will bring those to you just as quickly as we can. So yeah, on the laptop front and desktop front and gaming front, it's all going to be about Asus and Acer.
Okay, great. Any more questions out there?
Just one to sum up things. Would this be powerful enough for a web designer?
Yeah, I think so. Anything that's not like rendering 4K video, it's great. It has Core i7 processor, 16 gigabytes of memory. Those two things alone make it great for casual tasks. Even better, it has a discrete GPU, so you're going to get that extra oomph there.
Really nice screen, really good usability on the input devices. I definitely think this is a good Windows machine for a web designer. Now, we rated the MateBook X Pro 4.5 stars in Editor's Choice. What category is it in, and what did it beat?
So this is kind of, this is basically the best mid-range to high-end ultra-portable. It's kind of in the middle, especially specifically this high-end version is like in the middle between a mid-range ultra-portable and a high-end. So this is beating out the XPS 13, the Spectre 13, the the Razer, the Razer Blade. These are all among the best laptops in the mid-range to high-end ultra-portable that we've given Editor's Choice to. This one is currently the best, we
Great.
think, which will give it. You see, that probably won't stay that way for long because these things change like every month.
So if you're looking for a powerful computer in the $1,000 to $1,500 range that you can really carry with you without much trouble everywhere you go, the Huawei MateBook X Pro is our choice. It's a terrific laptop. We have the full review up on PCMag.com right now. Thank you all for watching. This has been One Cool Thing with PC Mag. If you are watching us on Facebook, return tomorrow at 10 a.m. We will have another cool thing live on Facebook and a live discussion. If you are watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Return to PC Mag's YouTube page anytime you like. Every day we'll have another cool thing for you.